Before we get started, I just wanted to give a quick apology for the buzzing in the background of Blake's audio. It turns out he's been breeding murder hornets in his desk, so I've told him to cut that out and it shouldn't be an issue in episodes going forward. Enjoy the show!
Hi everyone, welcome to Post Show.
Derek, you're too early.
What? we gave like a 10-second gap there, dear viewers. If anything, everyone else was late. Alright, Alex, you say you have a lot of thoughts?
Yeah. There was like one or two that I was like, what was the one that really? Oh, it was the pit trap that really got you.
Honestly, with my carrot, if this was designed for a different build, then I accept that. But with my character, as it seemed, the pit trap seemed really bullshit.
Well, no, interestingly, jumping in would have been the right move for your character.
Oh, with the snakes.
Mm-hmm. And just slaughtering all the snakes, yeah.
I thought you were talking about I was talking about the spikes trap.
Oh, no, you did fine. You did great on that one. Revealing the trap and then leaping over it was absolutely the correct move there.
Or,
no,
not the spikes, the spears.
Oh, the spears was also hard, but you actually got a decent amount of the gold for that one actually because you got messed up.
Yeah, turning it into a gore fest was also one of the ways to milk it for gold.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So the only one that you kind of like, honestly, the snake pit was the only one that was like that you took a beating. The shark you did. I wasn't 100% sure how to play the shark because that was a fucking badass way of dealing with it, but also I felt like almost too quick. So I gave you like decent but not full credit for that one. But based on Derek's notes, the pit trap really needed, or not the pit trap, the snake pit needed some sort of show to earn the, not show, but like.
Like swinging across and breaking up the wall was a good move, but and this could definitely be a failure on myself as someone who did the prep work, but basically every scenario was meant to have either like an aggressive way through or like an intellectual way through that would count on like magic items and like prep work as a caster character, or just like being able to like choose some of the traps to take damage from would produce enough blood to make up the difference.
Yeah. And you ended up really damn close either way.
How close was I?
You needed to hit 5,000, and with the 200 you got for smashing the camera, you hit 4740.
Yep, and the gold total was 7,000. So
yeah,
in my
I think it was...
I try to put a lot of 700s in there because in my head, like if you manage to catch most of the 500s, you'd be okay.
Yeah, you actually did get a good number of 500s. I think you literally got, I think I ended up giving you like 200 for the snake pit, and there were a couple others that you got 600s for. Honestly, I would have, like, that being said, I was also, up to the audience here, was I too harsh? Would you have given Blake more money?
Yeah,
Talk
dear
about
viewers.
it in the comments, tweet us, at 1 hour one-offs.
Hashtag snake trap was bullshit.
Hashtag snake trap was bullshit. Hashtag orcgate.
Hashtag what now?
Orcgate.
A tragedy through and through.
Truly.
Like your solution was definitely good, and I think that a
Towers of
trickster-
Hanoi, sorry. Was another one that did not go as well for you as it could have. I think you could have survived either the snake pit or the Towers of Hanoi as you did them, and both of them together kind of doomed you.
Yeah.
What was the powers of Hanoi?
It's the dumb rod puzzle where you have to move rings one by one, and the number of minimum moves needed to solve it just increases exponentially by powers of 2 as you add rings.
Wait, so if the goal was to make as few moves as possible, then wouldn't my solution have been the perfect one?
It was definitely not bad. I don't know how Alex rated you on this one. It was out of 700.
I think that one was like 400. Honestly, it was mostly the and once again, this is where the audience coming in, and I will say this one I had the least notes for.
That's true. I did the least prep work for this scenario.
And also it got moved partway through. So I mean, honestly, there could be a decent argument for you getting more gold there. I chose not to because of the initial failed rolls, basically.
That makes sense. Yeah, in my mind, the snake one was like a break because I think optimally you either go like all trickster and clever, or you go like all violence and glory. But that was like a weird in between where you might have seen like a crafty wizard or like sorcerer or warlock type using an immovable rod to like kind of, I guess, air hop their way across.
I will say, you solved all of these well from a problem-solving perspective, but not necessarily from a performance gladiator perspective.
That is fair, but annoys me.
Yeah, that's the but that's how it goes. That's the one-off.
Yeah, something I didn't get to touch on, unfortunately, in my backstory was that previously my character had this whole redemption and glory arc where he tried to hunt down and kill his human father, only to already find him dead. And that's what the whole must prove strength thing is about.
I see. That's
honestly, I think what would go ahead.
Your thought was probably deeper than mine.
I'm a start taking stands against you always ceding narrative control to me, Derek. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it's unfortunate that didn't come up, but I'm satisfied with the bits of your backstory that did come up. I think it's really neat that you got to reference like 2 of your different great labors in the course of the campaign.
Unfortunately, and Alex knows this one and helped me workshop it to be better, the one that didn't get to come up was the time I beat a halfling and half-elf and dwarf in a drinking contest and then proceeded to beat the dwarf senseless with a tankard.
Oh boy.
And as a result, this character is no longer allowed in dwarven drinking establishments.
That's definitely interesting, and maybe you could have like had it come up during con saves from snake venom, but yeah, it definitely
that would have been interesting.
Yep.
I think we can. What I was gonna say is, I think we can all rest easy that this character won his way, because that set was definitely left a smoking wreckage.
Oh,
yes.
For sure.
In the meta-human world, we recognize that Blake lost, but in the D&D Smash It world, that orc won.
Oh, that orc absolutely crushed it. I actually feel kind of bad because all in all, I think that was a victory-worthy performance. Like, Blake doesn't hesitate for a beat, And honestly, Yeah?
Yeah. As the one who did the gold, I agree.
Yeah.
And was looking at the numbers as we got towards the end and realized that it was like when you were facing the fire elemental, I was like, fuck, this is literally impossible for you to win. And I was like, that kind of sucks because this has been sick.
Yeah, no, in the end, that one's on me because I calibrated it where a victory worthy performance didn't manage to take the W. But
where a what?
Where a victory worthy performance didn't manage to take the win. Yeah. But this was also my first time running this kind of thing. Please be gentle. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, yeah. No, it's okay.
Gauntlets take some time to figure out.
Absolutely. And if we're just doing live notes, which is what it seems like we kind of are, peeling back the curtain for the audience. I just mimed peeling back a curtain. To peel back the curtain another layer, I just did it again. I think so. I think, Derek, you could have done a little bit more of, like I don't know exactly how to say this, but, like, and you definitely, I could definitely tell there were attempts, but I'm worried that we saw these things as too obvious because we knew what was happening, and Blake saw them as not obvious enough because he was, am I not audible right now?
Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you. I think Alex's Discord is just fucking up again.
Hello, test. Check, 1, 2.
Whoa, did you
You're
hear
back.
that?
Did it all just go through at once?
Yeah.
Cool.
Not for me.
I was talking for a little while there.
Sorry.
It's all good. I mean, it's not your fault. It's Discord. What I was going to say was, Derek... So there were several times where I could tell you were, like, trying to prompt Blake to be more, like, showy and flashy. And, like, it was very clear to me because I had been assigned the role of Bloodthirsty Twitch Chat and was, like, very on the hunt for that.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of like you were mentioning with Velstrom in Poison Soul, like, it's so hard to get out of the mindset of, like, I have an hour to accomplish these tasks.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, efficiency and all of that. And, yeah.
Alright, this has been great, and I hate to cut the post-show short, but I do have dinner.
All right.
Have a good dinner.
Peace out, dude.
Yep.
I'm a hold Derek for a little longer.
Dude, yeah, I also feel like we
Fair,
have a
of
lot we can
course.
talk about here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alex, you have my sheet for reference.
Sounds good. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think based on the fact that was actually a very short episode, too. That was a wild one where he... Are you still here?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
listening.
No, I was asking Blake.
Yeah. Probably gonna dip now, though.
Okay,
Of course.
cool. I will not address you with this sentence, then. Yeah, that was a wild one where we finished in 40 minutes, yet Blake lost, which I feel like we should also address as whether or not that's something we want to be possible.
I don't think it should be.
Yeah.
Like, that's like Candy Crush level bullshit, you know? Like, you play
I was gonna
optimally
say,
and still lose.
I think that the solution for this specific one-off, and these are all just learning situations.
Mm-hmm.
None of us are used to, and this is also kind of pulling back the curtain. You know, we've all been doing this for 6 episodes now. I think this is episode 6. We are not used to running RPG things that are designed to be, like, super time sensitive and, like, very nitty gritty, where, like, individual minutes spent on different aspects can, like, totally determine whether or not a character wins or loses. And that's just such a layer of concentration that we are all having to deal with right now.
And I think before this, both of us even hinted at, like, having reservations about the sheer bulk of content that there was, right? And I was worried we wouldn't get through all of it in time.
Yeah. And I think that kind of inhibited Blake to some degree, because you and I were both aware that we needed to keep things moving, and Blake was, I think, definitely picking up on that to some degree and was trying to keep things moving, but that obviously took away from his time to just stand there and flex and, you know.
Correct. Also,
I think go ahead.
No. I just brought up a point, so it's your turn.
Fair. Did we get me yelling at you for always ceding conversations to me on mic? Because that was funny.
Yeah, I think we did.
Whoever is editing this, throw that in there somewhere. I'm a start taking stands against you always ceding narrative control to me, Derek. What are you gonna say? If it's not somewhere sensical, throw it in right now. I'm a start taking stands against you always ceding narrative control to me, Derek. What are you gonna say? That isn't what I meant at all.
You said if it's somewhere nonsensical, put it in here. It was somewhere nonsensical.
That's just okay. Dude, I love editing. It's such a magical process where I can just say things out of order and they end up in order later. out of order, say things later in order, and they end up like so I'm gonna say never mind, I'll do that bit later.
Alex, progress the conversation.
No.
Oh no, I'm defeated.
Absolutely not. Oh yeah, the solution for this specific one-off, I feel like, would have been a gold bonus for finishing early.
You're right, and I definitely should have put that in there. And once again, I feel like Blake should have won.
Yeah, I mean, and I feel like that solves, like, all of our issues with this episode, where, one, it accounts for, like, finishing quickly, like, finishing under time but still losing, and also the whole fact that, like, he definitely put on, like, a very bloodthirsty, Twitch-worthy performance, you know?
Yeah, I really agree. That felt like it should have been a victory.
Or another interesting one would have been, like, change the dynamic. Like, so if he finishes early and doesn't have enough gold, he can, like, kill
I'm just
the host
thinking about it now.
and win, you know?
Oh, I was thinking, like, it would have been pretty easy to be like, the volcano explodes, and, like, regardless of how well Blake did with that particular thing, and I would be, like, flying by the seat of my pants in narrating that. Yeah. Like, it would give us the chance to be like, ah, yes, you run away, you have enough gold. Victory!
It's kind of like the inverse of my contingency for bombs under Bespin, where I was like, if Blake manages to kick the bomb out the bottom and therefore, like, theoretically end the threat 20 minutes early, a separate boss is going to show up and he'll have to fight them and maybe die but win, you know?
Yeah, because that's like victory without enough action, and then you can create action, and this is like
action without
a
enough
loss
victory, yeah.
deserving of victory. Yeah.
And we're just, you know, bear with us, audience. We're gonna bump into situations like this where the show, like, where the show develops as a result of them, you know? You're gonna feel the repercussions of this episode out in the future, and that's very cool.
Speaking of the show developing, I feel like this episode was a good pilot of, like, some of the things that came up in our discussion about more chances for characters to show who they are and, like, organically reveal things.
I was gonna say, so peeling back the curtain, can we get a hey Dana, can we get a peeling back the curtain sound effect? We use it enough, just like a twinkly star, like. So every time I make my dumb joke, it is actually funny. Fuck, what was I gonna say?
I don't know. I was, like, imagining different curtain sounds. To me, it was
Why
like,
does my brain do this?
I thought it was like tearing wallpaper, you know?
That'd be a cool one too. Yeah, like a.
Exactly. Anyways, you were going somewhere. It was important.
I was going somewhere. It was probably important. We were talking. Right. We're, like, seeing the effect, like, the positive effects of that conversation happen, like, literally 15 minutes later was very cool and promising.
But I also want to say that, like, my design for this particular one-off was, like, my reaction to not seeing enough characterization. Like, I definitely was thinking, how do we force more, like, character moments?
Yeah. And I think great job. Like, I think this is definitely. We're definitely starting to figure out what types of, like, how to frame different types of narratives, you know? We have, like, the classic defuse a bomb, which I think we've really seen the best version of in Shadow on the Hill, where, like, you just had some existential threat that would kill you in an hour. And then I think this is a very, like, true sequel to, like, Poisoned Soul and Spice Rush, where they're, like, sort of buried leads, you know? Yeah.
Quite possible.
If you're listening to the show, I got some dope-ass assignments for you. That's right, some fun-ass homework, which can be fun and cool, because we're cool and fun. Tweet us. Just if you're listening to this post-show, hit us up with an opinion. Should Blake have won? Should Blake have lost? You know, was the gold amount off? Was our giving room for Blake to flex his big sexy orc muscles off. You know, where was our pitfall?
Yeah, no, Blake
Besides
totally
potentially, literally the pitfall.
No, Blake totally should have won. But yeah, please, what did I do wrong? Tell me.
And what did Blake do right?
Yeah.
Both are good things to hear about. And honestly, we just like hearing from you. We are currently sitting in various empty rooms scattered across this great country, screaming into the dark, inky void of a microphone and waiting for a response. So,
Damn, you
hit us
make
up.
us sound like lonely university nerd boys.
As if we aren't.
True. There's some Alex Derrick lore for you guys.
Yeah. I'm getting a keep going from the producer, so I'm gonna need to keep this rolling for another like 2 minutes or so to hit some sort of arbitrarily consistent time frame.
Is that so? Okay. We need to fill 2 minutes of content. Hey, Alex, truth or dare?
Truth.
What do you think is the worst character trait like a real life meat person can have, and why?
The desire to be right rather than correct.
Talk me through that.
So basically, wanting to be on the right or correct or winning side of an argument rather than actually exercising your morals in a way that you inherently believe in. It's like when people, you know, it's like, sure, you can be, this is going to be a really fucking extreme example, but like, sure, you can be anti-slavery, but if you're only being anti-slavery to like give yourself a big old chip on the shoulder and jerk yourself off at night, like that's not as bad as being pro-slavery, but is still like a very deep character flaw in my opinion, and can be very like hidden and insidious too.
Huh, interesting. Well, there's a piece of Alex lore for you guys, and I think that's another minute right there. So good work, Derek, Alex.
Yeah, if we were just to like talk out for another 10 seconds or so, just to like arbitrarily let some words spill out of our mouths over some totally random and completely predetermined point of time that's definitely not at all going to